Hi, it's Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. It is Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. A little bit of sun today, shining down on that. I don't know how many inches of snow we have out there. 20 inches of snow, something like that. Just sitting. You might have compacted a little bit, but not much. Yeah, it was like 7 inches the other day. We got 2 in the evening and then 5 overnight. That was a couple nights ago. And then all the other stuff that hasn't melted. Man, I think we're at we're at least at our average. I think normally we get about 25, 27 inches of snow throughout the winter. I think we've had that, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so what am I going to talk about today? I was thinking about that William DeVaughn song, Be Thankful for What You Got. Right? Sounds like Curtis Mayfield, but it's not. It's William DeVaughn. And, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangsta lean, right? Woohoo. William DeVaughn, be thankful for what you got. And because this comes up often with regard to artists and business and all these sorts of things. And be thankful for what you got, right? That's why I always talk about catalog and how you need to understand your catalog, and you need to understand how to remarket your catalog, whatever it is over time, whether it's art, whether it's music, sound recordings, if you're a writer, that sort of thing. If you're a business and you have inventory, you got to know how to sell it the best way possible, right? Be thankful for what you got, because there's a lot of instances out there where we're bopping along doing our own thing, and then something comes across the transom where we think somebody is encroaching onto what we're doing, whether there's a somebody's got maybe a similar name to what you're working in, or they're doing a same-ish sort of music or something, and it's like there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do unless they're taking your own intellectual property and re-uploading it somewhere else. Writers face this a lot with published works. And this happened 20 years ago with music. People putting music on the torrents and all these sharing sites and stuff like that. But yeah, writers still have to deal with this sort of stuff today. These sites that take PDFs or whatever and resell, right? Or steal or whatever like that. But that's rare. That's pretty rare. If you're a famous writer, that's gonna be built in. If you're a famous musician, there's gonna be a little bit of that. Don't get obsessed with that, because it'll eat at you, right? Or if you're a painter and somebody paints like you, what are you gonna do, right? Somebody else started making this sort of stuff that I make here, this celestial field. This is an acrylic ink and acrylic paint painting on Tyvek synthetic paper. Somebody started making stuff like this and selling it. There's nothing I could do, right? And it'd be great. It'd be great, because that would mean my stuff is selling, right? Or if their stuff is actually selling, then what is it? Serendipity or whatever. It's going on at the same time. It's the rising tide lifts all boats, right? But if you're going to sit there and you say, well, wait a second, you just stole my idea, and I had this idea first, and I did this, and I have years of documentation. Nothing you can do. Nothing. Stop. Move on. Start making new stuff. Quit obsessing on that sort of thing. So many times I've seen it over the years. It's wasted time. You only have so much time on this earth. You have less time than you think. Don't spend your time worrying, unless somebody outright steals, your imagery and resells it. Like someone took this painting here and made a whole bunch of prints and we're selling it on Etsy or something like that. That's different. That's different. That's different. In which case, then you get the lawyers involved, if you can afford lawyers, right? But if somebody comes out and they've got they titled their album the same as yours, or they've got a business that kind of an idea that sounds very similar to yours, well, your idea maybe isn't that original, and there's a lot of people out there, and everybody's hustling. We're all trying to do something, right? And it happens, right? It happens. Can you coexist? With that going on? You're going to have to. You're just like, oh, yeah, I'll hire a lawyer. You know who wins? The lawyers win. That's the only person who wins. You start like hiring lawyers and sending letters, and yet only the lawyer's getting paid. Nobody else. It's a drain on your time and a drain on your life and a drain on your resources. So don't worry about that sort of stuff. Try to be super focused. I saw a video on Eddie Van Halen recently, and there's a lot of those out there because he died. Obviously, he was a major musical figure, and there's some really kind of crappily made, thrown together docus out there. But Eddie Van Halen at one time had said, I can't remember exactly when this was. It might have been the late 1980s, or maybe it was the 90s. It might have been the 1990s. And I'm trying to think, was it? I can't remember. I think it might have been. He took Wolfgang to a Tool concert or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but the gist of it was that Eddie Van Halen was like, I don't listen to anybody's music, or the only thing I listen to is oldies, or Clapton. It's old stuff because he was such a Clapton fanatic, and then just music of the 50s and 60s and stuff. Like he didn't listen to anything new for a variety of reasons, just because I'm the musician, I'm making new stuff. And then also, I think for some musicians, they don't do that because they don't want to be chasing the future. They don't want to look as if, so and so is doing this sort of trend. Eddie Van Halen's doing, I don't know, dubstep or something like that, right? It's like, why is he doing that, right? It was crazy enough when he was playing the keyboards and everything. It was synthesizers. How dare he, right? I'm afraid of synthesizers. A lot of people like that back in the 1980s. They couldn't handle it. They get all clenched up and everything. I can't handle synthesizers. They still can't. But that's another story. But yeah, Eddie Van Halen didn't listen to he's just like, I don't listen. I don't know music today. I'm just doing my own thing. And he didn't do much of it here the last 25 years of his life or whatever. But yeah, that was something he said at one time. And I understand that. I completely understand that. For me to make a playlist of stuff I've heard over the years, I don't go searching for the stuff. Like I said, when I make a playlist out there, it's largely stuff that's been introduced to me from algorithms, the Spotify algorithms, the Release Radar playlists and things like that. Or I'm in a store and I hear something and I sound hound it, or whatever. Somebody sends me hey, have you heard this? That's about it. I'm not living in the past, but I'm not subsisting on oldies, right? And plus I got so much stuff I'm making here. So much music. I'm just 2 nights ago, I made just a ton of beat driven lo-fi beats, a low beat electronica stuff. Lots of fun music. And then last night I performed edits, gave them titles and everything like that. And that just, as I like to say, that just wipes me out because I like to get it done. But the process of listening and editing and deciding, do I even want to keep this track? Do I want Where do I want to make the cuts? Where do I make the fades? Oh, hey, there's the part where I jiggled the wire and it, right. So, but yeah, if I go and I make I'm going to make that kind of music, um, yeah, somebody out there is probably making something similar to it, right? And so they're going to get mad at me or whatever and file lawsuits, and it would suck, right? So, but if you cannot be entirely original unless somebody is actually stealing your intellectual property, um, rather than just ideas or something is somewhat similar. Yeah. Uh, best to let that go. Focus on your catalog. Focus on your work, and move forward that way. Try to block that out, man. Life's short. Life's too short. You got less time than you think. So try to think about that, right? Uh, that's it for tonight. And we'll probably talk to you tomorrow, I hope.